Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with reTHINK Coaching.
Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, episode number 48. I'm Tony Caliendo, Master Coach here at reTHINK Coaching. And as always, I want to thank you for sharing your time with me. Time truly is our most valuable asset, and the fact that you're willing to share your time with me is truly, truly appreciated. So here we are, team. Gosh, it's the end of August. You should be hearing this podcast probably within the week or two. And I just want to have a conversation today because so many of the conversations I'm having with my clients or with people, entrepreneurs that I'm having conversations with or speaking to groups of people are realizing that we are more than halfway through the year, and some are either at goal and are at risk of taking their foot off the gas because they got it for the rest of the year. And some people are just not at goal and are maybe a little bit frustrated. So I want to talk today about this formula. And it's a formula that I have used for over a decade in coaching my clients. I've been coaching for over 13 years. And this is something that I wouldn't say perfected because I don't think anything is perfect and everything is ever evolving. But this is a formula that I have used with my private coaching clients that has allowed them to make six figures, multiple six figures, and seven-figure income because we have tapped into this formula. It's also what I have used in my personal businesses. And I honestly think as a coach, as an entrepreneur, as someone who is positioning themselves as a subject matter expert, I think it's really important that we've also utilized the tools and resources that we're sharing. So I have personally used this success formula in my life and in my business, and I know that it works. So we've got a lot of evidence behind us that has presented itself over the decade, and we're very confident in the way it works. So I want to talk to you about it today. And what I love about this formula is it's really pretty simple. You know, what we have come to find out is when most clients enter into my world, into my coaching schedule, or are part of one of our group programs or part of a mastermind we're running or whatever it is, we find out that a lot of entrepreneurs are singularly focused on business. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? We're entrepreneurs. We don't get a paycheck unless we create the income. And so I think it starts early on as you venture out into this wonderful world of entrepreneurship, is that I really have to give my business my all if I'm going to put food on the table, if I'm going to keep a roof over my head, if I'm going to grow the successful business I want. And I think that gets ingrained in us for a while because really the first couple of years of doing launching a business or being an entrepreneur takes a lot of time and focus on business and business strategies, what's working, what's not working, and a lot of learning and education during that time. But what happens is we sometimes don't get out of that mode and we treat the business like it's a machine. We treat it like it's an iPad, right? That I can go and get an update from Apple, update it, and it's all fresh and ready to go again. When the reality is what's running our business is this living, breathing thing called a human being. And so we do get stuck in this business thought process, I would say, very heavily for a while. And sometimes we don't leave that behind and go to supplement and do more things to allow us to get to success. So the success formula, what is it? It really is the ultimate success, the ultimate way to achieve wealth and to enjoy your business and your life is to strategize both business and thought. That's really it. Now, it sounds very simple, and I'm going to scratch the surface about this topic with you today, but I really do want to be able to share this with you. We've created a group program around this because I want to take what has worked so brilliantly with my private coaching clients and package it in a way that we can create an understanding for more people to understand it, be able to implement items from the program and see success and growth in their business. And then they may want to come and join us at a higher level relationship in one-on-one coaching, or they may be okay with just being introduced to and knowing the fundamentals of this success formula. But I really did have, it's been a while in the making to do this program because I wanted to do it right. And I really did want to introduce the success formula to as many people as we can, because my goal in life is to partner with and be that source for people to achieve the business and success that they always wanted to achieve. So we're going to talk about it today at a very high level. So business strategies is where this all needs to start, because as entrepreneurs, I want us to analyze this success formula with starting with the business strategies first. And I'll tell you why in a minute, but it's really important that we do. So most of us, I'm having my fingers crossed that all of us have written a business plan or a path for us to get to success in whatever business it is that you're in. And if you're not an entrepreneur and you're working for somebody, same thing, to have a strategy and a path forward. Now, if we are not hitting goal, if you are somebody who's going, holy cow, we're into the second half of the year and I'm just not hitting goal, this is where I want you to start. I want you to start and get out that business plan and look at it and say, hey, my strategies to get to goal involved these things. They involved direct sales. It involved maybe networking. It might have involved social media advertising. Could have involved several different things, but you've outlined how you were going to get to goal. And I want you to look at that business plan first, and I want you to get real and get right about it. I want you to look at it through the lens of a couple things. Number one, did I do the activities that I said I was going to do when I set off for the year according to my business plan? And if you didn't, and you're not, and again, we're not hitting goal, I want you to sit with that and ask yourself a couple of questions. Did I just not do it because I kind of forgot about it? And as humans, we default to old behaviors, right? I think it's 92% of what we do is conditioned habitual. And so we might have written this great business plan. We might have started working it, and then we might have just gradually and suddenly defaulted to our old ways. That could be one of the reasons. Or am I not taking the activities because I just don't believe that it is going to work or work for me? So therefore I just stop doing it. So I want us to get clear and get reacquainted with our business plan. Because unfortunately, a lot of us as entrepreneurs write these powerful plans, put it away, and don't look at it again. I want you to really do a deep dive into it and analyze each one of the strategies. So for simplicity, so you know what I'm talking about when I say strategy. So if I'm coaching a real estate agent, we have certain strategies on how we're going to get to goal. We're going to find business in our database. We're going to find business by doing open houses. We're going to find business through networking. We're going to find business through calling, circle prospecting a neighborhood. There's a lot of ways you can find business, and we are looking at the choices that we made when we wrote our business plan. So that's what I want you to roll up your sleeves and spend some time digging into and asking yourself the questions. Why am I not doing it? Is it just because I gradually moved away from it? Or is it because I had a loss of belief or faith or thought that it just isn't working and it's not working for me? Once you do that, this is where the other element comes in, the thought strategies, which I think is the biggest magic trick in the world. It's kind of like looking behind the curtain and seeing Oz. You get to learn a part of this equation that so many people ignore. And through ignoring it, they tend to have more frustration, a little disappointment, and they may be, and this might be you, living the same year after year after year, hitting that same goal ceiling over and over and over. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but certainly not having the breakthrough that they wanted to have or that they set out to have when they do their business goals. So once you analyze the strategies and you have a really good conversation with yourself, let's move over to the thought side of things. So I'm going to give you an example to help this make sense. So let's just stay with the example of you're an entrepreneur real estate agent, and you agreed to do open houses as one of your strategies to get to goal. And when you go to do your open houses, The story that you're telling yourself is maybe you just had one bad experience at an open house. People who come into an open house are a total waste of my time. They're already working with an agent. A lot of them are neighbors. Nobody's really looking to buy. People are just looking for decoration ideas. They're snooping. They're bored. They have nothing to do after church and in between brunch. Trust me, I've heard it all. We may have that thought, okay? But we're going to go do an open house because that's on our plan. So off I go to do my open house with all of this baggage on me. And I show up for my open house, and in my brain, I'm thinking all of those things. Total waste of my time. Nobody's going to buy, yada, yada, yada. Do you think that just because I took the activity, I'm going to get a result with the thought and energy that I have around that activity? 100% no. Well, I'm not. I'm going to repel, not attract, because of my beliefs. I mean, if I really believe that, why even bother doing the open house, to be quite honest? So this is where the thought strategy piece comes in. And we've talked about this a lot on this podcast. The thought flow model is the model that will change everything for you. So in this thought strategy, in the example I gave about the person believing that open houses were really a waste of time, I would ask that person to sit with that thought and see if it's really true, work through that, and create a new story around it. I mean, I will tell you, it's how I built my business as a real estate agent. I know they work, but if you don't, they're not going to work for you. To really sit there and think, you know what? People do come in that are looking for a house. People do come in that are looking to learn more about the market. Some of the neighbors come in, maybe they're coming in to compare their house to that house so they know what their home is worth. There's a lot of different really valuable reasons people come in. If I hold that space that somebody could walk in that is looking to buy a house but doesn't quite know exactly how this works, I could get to help them. So that changes my feeling. That changes my energy of excitement. I'm a real estate agent. What I would do is help people buy their dream home and or sell their home to move on to their next chapter. That would make me feel so great. And now if I have that thought and those feelings and I go hold open an open house, I promise you the results are going to be different. I wish we could do an event like hold the open house with your old thoughts, erase it, and do the exact same open house, the exact same people coming in with this new thought strategy. And I promise you the results would be totally different. The people that you repelled, you would most likely attract. If there was someone in the group that came through that was serious about buying a house, you would connect with them on a high level because your thought and your intention and your energy was that somebody needs my help. I get to help them buy their dream house. This is amazing. And we're going to attract it. So this thought strategy is really important to use after you do your strategy on your business, because now I know, is it just a thought? Is it just a thought that was keeping me from success? Is it something that I need to change on my thought strategy? And it is, I will tell you this, it is so true because I've witnessed it over and over and over. When clients come into my private practice and they're on a one-on-one level, we spend a lot of time in their business strategy doing exactly what I asked you to do. I asked them to go through every one of the things they committed to do, and we drill deep to learn about it. 9 times out of 10, there is a thought strategy that is holding them back from getting the results that they forecasted they would get from that activity. Once we work on the thought strategy, they a lot of times will ask, okay, now what do I do? And the answer is just go back to doing what you were doing, but with this new thought strategy. And the coolest thing happens. They will text me, they will call me, I will have them on the call the next time, and they start to get traction and results by just doing one thing, focusing on their thought strategy. It is just the biggest gift in the world. So when you combine these two elements together, it is truly magic. And it truly takes you to another level of success. So if this is the first time, let's say this is the first podcast you're listening to of mine, and you want to dig a little bit deeper into this thought strategy, you must learn the thought flow model and learn it in a way that you use it every single day in your practice and in your life, because The thought strategies that we're going to formulate together are based upon that thought flow model. If you need a refresh on it or you want to hear about it, go listen to podcast number 1, where I do a deep dive into this. This is the thing that helps people achieve a level of wealth and success without burnout and frustration, where they actually enjoy their business and their life because they're working both sides of the success formula. I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again when I talk to people, entrepreneurs, and they're burnt out. They don't know how much longer they can do this. They feel like every day is just drudgery and misery and that they're stuck. It's because they're not spending any time creating a thought strategy. It's really, really that simple. And it is knowing that we're going to do things, right? We talked about this on the last podcast before this one. We talked about sometimes the how is ever evolving and the how is a lot of trial and error. If you're just stuck in trial and error on the business strategy side of things, you're going to get frustrated because you're not fortifying it with thought strategies. The other thing that I know happens when you're not using both sides of this formula for success, as business people, again, we tend to want to solve problems by just doing more. So, for example, open houses are on my strategy to secure buyers and sellers. I'm not securing any of them. So instead of just doing one open house, I decide to do 2 or 3, or I decide to do one every Saturday and Sunday, and I'm just doing more. Well, if I'm holding on to the old crappy thought strategy of nobody's serious that comes in, people are nosy, if I'm holding on to that, I don't care how many open houses I do, I'm not going to get the results that I'm desiring to get out of it. And quite honestly, when we use the do more strategy instead of a thought strategy, do more tends to wear off by 5 p.m. that night because we're still holding on to that old stuff, that old thought strategy that's not serving us. And we're going to get frustrated again. We're going to be like, this is ridiculous. What was I thinking I was going to do 4 open houses? This is so stupid. It's not working. And I'm just doing more of what's not working. I need to just forget it. That's what we do. So I really want to caution you, if you as an entrepreneur are looking to solve all of your problems by simply doing more. That typically doesn't, or it works for just a short period of time before you find yourself back in the place of not getting the result you want. We've all done it, team. We've all done it where we have such incredible excitement about what's possible for us for the upcoming 12 months. You know, most of us do a business plan Q4 and then implement it for the following year, but you may be doing a business plan today. You might be a new entrepreneur. We get so excited about it. And when it doesn't work, we tend to almost punish ourselves by, well, just do more. If that is you, I promise you, you're going to be experiencing a repeat a year after year after year. And I don't think any of us want that. And again, whether it's to have a massive breakthrough. So if you're selling houses, to go from selling 40 units to, 150 units, probably not going to do that from year to year. But if you're looking to grow, you're going to not hit that growth goal if you do not also work on the thought strategy. It's really, really important. Like I said, I've used this in my personal businesses. I too, because being an entrepreneur and our driven spirit and our tenacity, we tend to beat ourselves up a lot. And so when we're not hitting goal, it can really mess with you mentally. And we are going to roll up our sleeves and prove to the world that we can do this. And we really do dig in deep. And you're at greatest risk of the do more, of burnout and of frustration, and actually walking away from what you thought was going to be an incredible career and incredible opportunity simply because you haven't managed the thought strategy portion of this equation. So this really is truly just scratching the surface of this formula. This formula has truly helped so many entrepreneurs reach new levels of heights of success. Success is defined by you, not by me, and not by this formula. Once you decide what your success looks like, this is when the formula will get you there and help you achieve it. So again, some people's success is making a lot of money. Some people's success is being able to spend time with their family, their kids, their friends, having a balance and making a lot of money. Success is up to you, whatever you want it to be. But if you really do want to get there and enjoy the ride and have longevity, you must do both business strategies and thought strategies in your plans and in your daily activities as an entrepreneur. If this has sparked your interest and you're like, I get it and I need more, please join me. We have a powerful 7-week success formula group coaching program. Again, I started this off by saying this is a formula that is proven in my world to work. And I do this with our one-on-one clients. I want to offer it to as many people as I can, and I can do that in a group setting. I want you to understand this. I want you to have the success that you want to have. So if you want to learn more and you want to do a deeper dive, this 7-week program is so incredibly powerful. It's a weekly module out of your workbook delivered to you with a video from me explaining the module and the work that we're going to do. And then you're going to do the work. You're going to go through the module and you're going to do the work, because we're going to have a live 1-hour group coaching call around this topic that week. Every week, we're going to have the same rhythm. Modules drop, video explains, you do the work, you come to a group coaching call. This group coaching call is so powerful. We'll spend just a little bit of time just doing a light overview of the module, because we're going to presuppose that you've actually done the work. And then we're going to open up the floor for questions, for coaching, for whatever you need. And that is where magic happens, when there are people that are like-minded, that are looking to grow in this space. You're going to help each other out. In addition, of course, there's a private Facebook group. There's community. You can always reach out to me. I am the coach in this program. You have access to me 7 days a week, so you can shoot me a message on Voxer or whatever it is that form of communication that you like. We're there to support you. When you leave this 7 weeks, you will understand and have created your own success formula. And it will have those two elements, business strategies and thought strategies. You will see how these work together seamlessly. So if that is something you're interested in, please reach out and let me know. I will send you a link to save a seat. I will send you a link. We do a free webinar around this so you can even understand it at a greater level. But if it's something you want, send me a note, Tony@rethinkcoaching.com. Go to my Instagram, the bio. There's a link in there to save a seat. There's a link in there to sign up for the next group coaching program. I promise you, this will be the thing that changes your career from this point forward in the trajectory of your true success. If it's you, I'd love to see you there. If this was helpful and this is all you needed, this is fantastic. Take it and use it. Go back, listen to podcast number 1. Really lean into learning that thought flow model. It is powerful, and it is the driver of the thought strategy portion of the success formula. As always, team, I appreciate you being here. Always here to answer any questions you might have. So if you're thinking, I do kind of want to do that, but I've got some questions, just reach out to me. Happy to help you understand it at a greater level and watch you just flourish on your journey as an entrepreneur. We'll talk to you soon. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.